Oh, good morning. I'm just looking to make sure there's no shadow on that. Probably is. It's better. I think it's better to kind of keep that closed. This is Kelly Agee. I'd like to welcome you to my Facebook Live. And I'm just going to see if I can share it to my group. This is my page. Kelly Stamps is my page, and Stampin' with Kelly is my group. So let's see here. Oh, if you're joining me, say hello. Let me know you're here. I've kind of had to flip-flop my Facebook Lives from Wednesday to Thursday. So let's see. Sometimes, oh, here we go. You think I know how to do this by now. Here we go. Okay. It's, to me, not a waste of time trying to find this, but kind of. But, all right. So I am on my group as well as my page. So, yep, if you're joining me, say good morning, say hello, whatever. I'm Kelly Agee from Atlanta, Michigan. And it has been like spring-like weather, which is wonderful. So I've been enjoying that. Get rid of some of our ice. But and happy St. Patty's Day. I don't know if you can see, but I have my green on, even though I'm mostly Polish, but it's always fun to celebrate. So what we're going to be working with today, and I know I usually kind of jump right on and start, but you can always watch the replay. But I'm working with the Daffodil Daydream, and I'll be honest with you, I've had this probably for at least 2 months, and every time I went to cut it out with just cardstock, I really didn't like it. But I found a way to like it. And maybe a few little tips, but what I wanted to show you is, of course, they have the stamp set, and then they have what I'm going to be using to cut out the flowers that are just stamped on there. And then it looks like you got so many pieces, and you think, oh my gosh, there's lots of pieces. But what it is they give you 2 of certain pieces. So if you're cutting a lot of these out, it really helps save time. So I mean, at least I think it does. You save time on, cutting everything out. So, which helps when you're cutting for a class or something. It really helps. Okay, and then I'm going to be using the Happy Mother's Day. These 2 flowers, the daffodils, the butterfly, and then the dots. I didn't use this, but you could. That'd be really pretty. And then I'm just going to go over real quick. So, yeah, if you guys are joining, make sure you say hello. And once again, I will have my little drawing. Today, I'm going to draw for the fake sea glass shapes. If you comment, like, or share. Of course, I'm always happy that you do that. But then for next week, I'm going to do a drawing on the matted decorative dots. So I have everyone's name in here, so I'll do that drawing here in a minute before I start stamping. So what I'm using, though, is I just wanted to show you on my ribbon, I am using the Flowers for Every Season, the white. We do have a white ribbon in the mini catalog, but I didn't use that. And then I am using, well, I didn't actually use, I used the, it's retired, but you could use the Tasteful Textile embossing folder. And then I'm using this, the designer paper from, the different families. So I'm kind of trying to use that up because this design's going to retire, and then they'll come out with a new design, okay? I hope that makes sense. Like, they'll come out with the new colors, but different patterns on the designer paper. Okay, so this is the set that I'm working with. And if you kind of look like at some of these pieces, and hopefully you guys can see, you know, to kind of, you can figure out, not like the tulip, that's kind of difficult, but right here you can kind of figure out how to put that together. The tulip, you almost need like a guide, but I love the tulip set too. And then what I am using is the butterflies, the brass butterflies. I think I'm using the polished dots here. Yep, the polished dots. And then the Hive, the 3B embossing folder. And then remember last week on my bag, I used the stripes and splatters and it kind of cut my paper. Well, this week I'm using the splatters. So I kind of wanted to use them. I haven't used them yet. And they're actually very nice. So, you know, if you haven't used them, check it out. So, okay. Now, let's we'll do a drawing for this. Now, if you comment or put your, you know, liked it or whatever, that was, you know, I put your name in here. So some of you got quite a few drawings. Hi, Donna. Thanks for joining. Okay. Trying to get some. I'm just going to mix these up really well and draw one. Okay, let's see. Oh, Carol Kurleski won. And I think I have her address, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. I gotta have a piece of tape for that so I don't lose it. So make sure you share and like everything. Carol, I'll get these sent out to you. Okay. I really appreciate, she does share a lot. Well, actually, I think all of my videos, so I really appreciate that. But, okay, so these are the 3 cards we're making. Just a note, and I didn't even put anything inside but the butterflies. And if you are mailing, I probably would not put these butterflies inside, but I thought it looked pretty. So, we'll do that one. And then we're doing, and this is kind of almost the same technique. I was kind of playing with it, but I'm going to show you a little bit different, because what I did is I actually kind of colored this with the Aqua Painter, and then I did the Wink of Stella, but I like to kind of color with the Wink of Stella almost better, so that's what I'm going to kind of do today. And then this one is just, oh, my little ribbon goes somewhere. And this one is just cut out, but I kind of use the blending brushes just to soften it. So that's what we're working with. And then the ribbon that I'm using comes this wide, but as you could see how big that bow was, which I really thought was almost a little too big. So I took in, probably not the best bow here, but I took and cut this ribbon in half. And then I can make my bows smaller, which I like, because I think that was actually too big for that. Okay, so just to kind of give you an idea for that. So we will go ahead and I'm going to start. Actually, what I'm going to start with is to show you how to do the coloring. So I got my little scrap paper. And what you will do, now I'm going to do this in steps, because once I stamp it, you really should, because I'm using the gray granite. Yeah, the gray granite, because I wanted it to be kind of softer. So I'm using this, but you do have to make sure that it dries well, because otherwise you'll pick up the gray with your other colors. And then I'm just going to go ahead and stamp these to kind of show you how I colored them. I just want to make sure I'm up in the camera here. And what I would normally use, because I'm using water, is watercolor paper or the shimmering white, which I don't know where either of mine are, but I'm using the thick white cardstock, and this will work okay as long as you're not putting too much water on your stuff. Okay, so I have this. Let me see, let me get this out of the way. And I had already stamped one this morning, so it dried, okay? Otherwise, you could just kind of do the heat gun on this or the heat tool just to make sure it's good and dry. I mean, it doesn't take too long, but if you don't want this, because you're working with water, you could stamp this in the Stays On ink, and you wouldn't have that problem, or emboss it or whatever. Now with the blends, you know, same thing. If you wanted to color this with the blends, you could, and you could probably get a little effect like this, but I kind of like the watercolor look. And just to show you, I was playing around with this. I used just water on this, and I kind of did it too soon, so I think I picked up a little of the gray. This I used the Wink of Stella, and this is the Magenta Madness, same color, and you can see the big difference. It almost made it kind of purple with the picking up the gray. Okay, so we got that. I'm done with the gray. Now what I did is, excuse me, I am going to just do, I'm using the Gorgeous Grape, or no, I'm using the Highland Heather, I'm sorry. So I just took, and if you're strong enough to sit there and push this and get ink on here, wonderful. I could not get my hands to do that, so it's like, but so I just did some of my re-inker and put some drops in my cap. Now, the other thing you will want to do is, because if you just drop that re-inker in there, it's going to be quite dark. So what I did is I spread it around, and even if I'm using the Wink of Stella, I want to lighten this, so I added water to it. And if you don't want to leave this in there, you can always just take and wipe it out with a Kleenex or paper towel. But I had no problem with that. So I'm just going to kind of squeeze my Wink of Stella, not get too much. And let's see, I want to make sure you guys can see me color this. I'm going to move stuff around. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. So I'm going to pick this up and just try a little bit there. So that's pretty light, because what I had found is on your flowers and your leaves too, but you want to start out just a real light base, and you don't want to put a lot. I'm not even squeezing my Wink of Stella. I'm just picking it up basically with the little brush tip, and I'm just coloring it. And what's so cool is it's giving you the glitter along with the you know, the color. So that's pretty, at least I think that's cool. I love coloring like this. Okay, so my first coat is just going to be this, and you want to make sure you want to kind of keep adding water so it doesn't get too dark. But I'm sure I'll pick it up closer that you can see the shine on this already. So I'm just not even doing anything fancy, but can you guys hopefully can see that? Okay, now what I'm going to do is just come back where there's not quite so much that it was washed out, just kind of trying it, and then I'll take and do where I want to highlight it and darken it. Okay, so it's pretty easy to work with this. I mean, if you get it too dark, you just kind of try to rub it out. Now on the watercolor paper, the shimmering light, it'd be a little bit easier to kind of get that, but if it's like too dark, go back and add a little more water, and that'll kind of help. Okay, so either way, you kind of need some means of getting water in there. But I just thought this is, to me, this is so relaxing. And I'm so ready for spring. Oh my gosh. We have been skating in our yard on ice, but it's getting better. So now this, you could do this in, you know, it's paper crafting. You can make your flowers however you want. Like if you want your tips to be darker, or most likely the inside is a little darker, but it doesn't matter. And you can even kind of pick up a little black ink or yellow ink there if you want, but I'm just going to kind of try to shade it a little bit. The thing that you don't want to do is get too much water on it unless you're using the watercolor ink or paper, because especially if you don't have the thick cardstock, it will kind of start to like pill up where it'll kind of actually tear. But you know what? I think this is just kind of perfect. I hope you guys can see that. Can you see the glitter on it? And it's just kind of shading it a little bit there. I didn't even color very good, and it doesn't matter. Really doesn't. So I'm just going to kind of quickly do this one. And same thing. I mean, I might actually do another flower with just water just to kind of show you kind of the difference. I actually did the leaves. Let me just get this clear. Well, I guess I don't have to because I'm using purple. I'll probably still get a little glitter in there, but same thing. It's just the same thing. And then if you want to add the glitter after, you can. And I probably will get some glitter on here because I've been putting it in there. So if you do this, okay, you're going to lightly shade it. I always say start lighter. Pick up some darker color and kind of just even where the lines are if you want, but I kind of like to do more on the inside, but you could just do where the lines are. And you kind of still want it to be maybe like a little wet, so you don't want to wait too long. I mean, you could, but I'm just kind of tracing some of the lines, and so it kind of does the same thing. I'm going to just do a little bit here just to see how dark that is. So I wouldn't probably quite go that dark. Maybe I'm trying to blend it, but I don't know if it'll blend too much. It may be okay. Can always just add a little bit right over everything. I mean, some people like lines like that, but I kind of like more to blend. So I guess I'd probably check. And see, that's kind of just a medium coloring it in. So I don't know if you guys want me to finish coloring. I can kind of finish this one. And the pink is the same way. See how dark that is? I probably would definitely start out lighter. I do think with the Wink of Stella, it's a little more forgiving, at least on this paper. But you also could use the blends with this as well, if you wanted to. So see, that's kind of a little dark there. I wouldn't probably keep that. But this one, with putting a little Wink of Stella in there, actually kind of turned out nice. Not too bad, actually. Okay, so there's that one. I'm going to just kind of clean out my brush here. Close my... let's see, that's that. Where's my Wink of Stella? So I said, gosh, I hope I didn't lose my cover already. Okay, and then I did a little of the Pear Pizzazz, kind of same thing. Just a few drops of that in there. That one I think I had to kind of really water down. I don't need a lot. So let me go to this one. So my first coat, and this is with the water, so I'm just doing it real light. Even if you go out of the lines, it's not going to matter because you got the little die to cut this out. Okay. So, and then if you want to pick up a little the darker for, like, say, the stem, just go ahead and do that. If you really want to get, like, if you like to paint, you can kind of shade on one side. There's just so much you can do. Depends on what you like to do. And you may just say, oh my gosh, the blends are easier. And go ahead and use that. That's fine. So, okay. So there's that. I'll do the butterfly in the pink. because I had kind of done this, but you know, if you have any questions about any of this, please let me know, okay? Because I'd be happy to, you know, chit chat and okay. So I still got some in here. This is the Magenta Madness. Make sure all my purple is out of there. So depending on how dark you want to go, but I would definitely start out lighter. Even with the blends, I do like to always start with the light and then add the dark. And then I'm going to touch, now did you see I touched the ink pad? You should see how dark that is. And I'm just going to go on the outside of this. So can you see how dark you actually can get that if you want it to? Okay, so there. That's kind of like that. Now with the butterfly, I would probably use the Wink of Stella on it when it's dry. So, and then, you know, the pink is actually the same. So you're gonna just water it down. I think the pink, you can probably kind of, I want to say you can maybe get a little more the detail in it, but and you can leave it even white and just do just a very, very, very light coloring or shading to it. Okay, so there's, if you just wanted to do it real pale, you could just do that or kind of add to it. I guess the main thing is just to make sure it's kind of blended nice, whatever way you decide to color. And I'd be interested if you guys do this technique to share what you do, okay? So there's that. I mean, I don't want to bore you all day doing coloring, but like I said, if you need help or don't really understand what I just did or have questions about it, please let me know, okay? Because I'd be happy to help you or answer questions or whatever. And then, like this just cuts that right out. Of course, you want to make sure everything's dry. And this would cut that out completely. So that's what's really nice about this set too. And then you got for the butterfly. Okay. All right. And then the other thing that I found doing some of the backgrounds, instead of having it just stark white, that's where I got into some of the blending. So let's go ahead and we'll get started with our first card. Kind of got to do all that work just to get to making the first card. That one I did, I think, in the pink with the, I might have added, I think I colored it and did the Wink of Stella after. And it's not even colored really good when I look at it close. But you know what? When you first look at it, it doesn't even matter. So, but, anywho. Okay, so my first card is with the Gorgeous Grape. And I did it the 4 1/4 by 11 and scored it at 5 1/2. And then I got one piece. Oh, hopefully I cut enough. I did. The one piece is, let me make sure these are the same. I got, oh, I think the inside's a little bit, the inside is the normal size, 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to leave that here. So I have the front, I like to crease that really well. So the front is a piece of the basic white at 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. So it's just the 1/8 of an inch shorter than what you normally would have. Then I have this piece, which is 5 inches by 3 3/4. And I did it in the hive one. And this is where I'm going to, I don't know if you can see, but I actually kind of soften that back that way. So let me see, I'm going to use the dark one. And I use the the Highland Heather. And you just want it not too dark, so I'm just going to take and dab on here. Excuse me. With the weather changing, oh, let's see, I gotta get a little bit more. It's like I don't want it too dark, and I think I got a little bit of a green in here because I was using green. And now what I'm gonna do is just kind of go over here. Oh, there we go. That looks more purple. If you go real light, it's not too bad to start on here, but I need to buy more of these blending brushes. I'm using too many colors on one, or I need to wash them. But that's all I'm going to do is just that little bit. Get a little bit down here. Okay. Yeah, I think that will be good. So, and I think that I got Gorgeous Grape here. Let me just see. I might have put that away. Oh, no, I do. I want it, sorry. I want it to stamp with Gorgeous Grape. So I'm going to put this on here. And then I got a piece of designer paper that is 2 inches by 5. So let's go ahead and add these. I gotta just move some of this stuff out of the way because I'm getting it all over. And I can't find my tape. Ah, here we go. Which is probably going to be done pretty soon. I haven't used tape in a long time, guys. So, all right. So we're going to cover up that little muddy spot there. And I got just a little bit extra, so I'm going to snip that right off. And then we'll add it right to here, to the front, which, you know, I'm probably going to use glue because I know I'm going to tear the paper. Have any of you guys ever tried using, you know, where you color with the Wink of Stella? I know I've done it before in a video too, and I really do like it. So this is just going to have a little bit of a border. And of course I taped that on, and I don't know if I got it even, but let's see if I can pull it just a little bit. There we go. Of course I got ink all over me. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on my front. Now I had colored my stuff this morning and cut it out, so you don't have to watch me do that, but I just basically kind of wanted you to get a feel of how to, you know, to do that. So I'm going to, and I didn't even put the Wink of Stella on my leaves this time. Okay, I just left them the green. I just did the flowers. So you got a little variety of everything. I'm just going to kind of put them off a little bit. And then this one, I'm going to pop up. You can pop that up over there, however you want. Get rid of that little centerpiece there. Okay, and I'm going to use the small dimensionals here. And since I used the thick card stock, you don't have to use quite so many dimensionals on because it'll stay up pretty good. But sometimes I get using a lot, but it's just because you want it to be level. So, okay. So, hopefully, I'm not sure how many I got watching today. I know I feel bad that I got to keep changing my days, but it's just the way it goes. It's life. So, okay. Now I have, oh, and I got my little butterfly, which I'm going to pop up as well. And if you don't want it too high, you could do a glue dot. I'm going to put that. You know, I seen in the catalog where the butterfly was almost tucked behind one of the leaves, and I actually really like that. So, okay, so now in here, I'm going to stamp just a note, and I'm going to do that in the Gorgeous Grape. And this is from the Flowing Flowers, I think. It's from a different set. Oh, I got a little bit of a... This is why I do extra pieces. I think I got it a little heavy there. Up and down, there we go. Okay. So I'm going to take this and we're just going to angle it. And then I'm going to snip this off. I could have flipped that over, but now what I want to do is put that, boy, that don't look very straight, does it? Let me see if I can trim this a little bit. I don't know if that's going to make it any better or not, but it'll work. It'll be just fine. So what I'm going to do, although I don't know, I can't stand it. It don't look right. I have to restamp that. I'm sorry, guys. That just does not look right. And if I don't get this one right, I'll take my first one and make it work. Okay. So this is just a little 1/2-inch strip that I'm using. And if you don't want to do that, you can use a bigger strip, but then you got to cut it down. Okay, I think that's better. Just wasn't, I don't know. Wasn't working for me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is kind of adjust that right there. And just to kind of see where I want a dimensional, I'm going to use a big one there, a small one there, because this is popped up. It's going to make the center be popped up. So you don't want to put one in the center or else it will bunch right over. Okay. So I got that there, and it's pretty even. So I could have added probably another dimensional there, but it'll be fine. And then I got my little ribbon, which I'm going to use a glue dot. Now, hopefully I don't make too many mistakes this week, because look what I found. I got it out. I thought, you know what? The way last week went, I'm going to be prepared. But like I said, that was a video of what not to do, I think. So, all right, we're going to put that there, put my little ribbon there. However, and then I got some of the polished dots that I'm going to add to it. I'm going to use a big one there. I think I'm going to have to order more of these because they're getting quite scarce on my little sheet here. There. And then on the inside, instead of doing the little butterflies, I have a, let's see, this is a 1/2 inch, so this is the 5/8 of an inch, I think, just a little over a 1/2 inch by 4. So I'm going to take and just glue that on. Or what would be really pretty, and I didn't do it, but there's the one with the Valentine set that has that little scallop, like the stitch scalloped the die. That would be beautiful cut on the bottom of this. That'd be really, really pretty. But I didn't think of that beforehand, so I'm using that for my daughter's invites, and I'm thinking, there's a lot of measuring and cutting that I have to do, so I'll be working on that this weekend so she can get them out. I'm just going to snip that off. Still going to leave it plain. I think it's always nice. You can use this for a number of things. With, you know, the little sentiment that just says just a note. So, okay. So instead of putting that on the side or the bottom, I got it up on top. So there, that's our first card. What do you guys think? And if you didn't want to add this butterfly, you could add the brass ones, but I think this is pretty cool. So, all right, you guys like it? Let me know if you do. Let's see, let me just kind of clean up here. Okay, our second card is kind of the same thing, but I did a scallop and then I cut this out. And I love how it's going off the scallop rectangle. So just something a little bit different, but the same technique of coloring. Okay. So this one is, let's see, sound crazy, but this is the Magenta Madness 5.5 by 8.5. I am getting excited. I am trying to find time to work on my stuff for my retreat, which is May 14th, and I'm going to have that in person and to go. So if you can't make it, you can always get it to go as well. So okay, on this one, I have a sheet that is the 4.5 by 5, or 4.5, 4 by 5.25, I'm sorry. Then I did the splatter. I don't know if you can see the splatter on here, and I colored that with the pink, but that doesn't fit all the way because that's a shorter one. Let me find it, and I'll show you what I did, and I'm sure you guys could figure this out, but just in case. Because I wanted it to be, make sure it's on this side. Okay, I guess you could flip it over like that either way, but I always feel where the bumps are pushed up instead of down. So the bumps are pushed up here, which is the opposite of the Stampin' Up thing. So I just put this in here as far as it would go. And make sure it's even. And then I just ran it through the embossing folder, okay? So this side you're not even going to see because you're going to have your designer paper. So that part doesn't matter. But let's go ahead and let's find the right one here. I used a little bit of the Magenta Madness to kind of soften that. And I also did it on the white. So let me get out my little white sheet here. And I'll tell you the sizes of these in just a second. So I'm just tapping that. Ooh, that is really dark. So I don't want it that dark. I'm just lightly going to go over here. And you could do the whole thing. You could do part of it. It doesn't really matter. I think I kind of did the whole thing, so it really kind of popped out. On this side, you don't have to worry too much because your designer paper is 1.5 inches over. So isn't that cool, though? I mean, that'd be even cool, like with those rain boots in the water and do it blue. At least, you know, or the watering can. So I'm just going to dab a little bit on here and go real light just to shade it. Sometimes when you put something on a background and it's just so white and plain, I don't know, you just need a little bit more than that, I guess. Okay, so there's that. So this is 4 by 5.25, and then I went a little bit, 1/8 of an inch shorter. So you got 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And sometimes I don't double layer my whites, but I don't know, I think it kind of gives it just a nice finished look. You don't have to do it. If you want to save on your cardstock, just do the top sheet and ooh, a little glue on there, and take in you know, just treat that as your out, like the biggest one. So I got a little glue on here. See, must have known I was going to do that, but I probably should just left it. It would be fine. But this piece is the designer paper, and this is the Magenta Madness. So this goes right on there. So that is 1.5 by 5 1/8. Could use whatever side you want, but And I'm just going to put this on there. Okay, if you want a little white to show, like I actually left a little more white there. Does not matter. No right or wrong. Okay. So I'm going to just add my glue to this. It's kind of hard not to use pink because we're just so ready for spring. Now this piece, this is the scalloped rectangles. There's a Stitch So Sweetly, I think. I'm not sure. No, it's the scallop contour dies. The Stitch So Sweetly are smaller scallops. So now I glued this piece on, okay? But this piece I'm going to pop up. Now this piece to fit in here is let's see, this is the white. This is 2.5 by 3 1/4. And all you gotta do is really just measure, you know, and then you'll know. But I'm gonna actually pop this up. Now, once again, if you're mailing, you don't have to pop it up. But if you're, you know, handing it out, it's beautiful popped up. Okay. So I'm gonna make sure I got enough on here to... Oh, I'm running out of my big ones, so I'm gonna use a few small ones. So we're just going to add this. Now, if you want a little darker background here, just use your sponge, but a little bit more, and you know, you can color the whole thing. Oh, look, I got a dimensional on me, or on my fingernail. So see, this one I actually kind of got a little heavy on that, but it's fine. You're not even, unless I pointed that out, you're not even gonna know. So, okay, I'm gonna use glue on this to glue this one down. And make sure, rule, do not do your leaves up there. Whatever you want sticking out, try not to glue, okay? Or put glue on it or tape, whatever. Now I'm going to pop this one up, the smaller one. And you could leave it just like that or just use this one, doesn't matter. But I think it kind of just looks like a bunch of flowers or a bundle of flowers, and it looks nice. So there again, because my leaf's going to hang off, I'm not putting any dimensional on that. At least I think it is. I think I was over a little bit more, but that's okay. All right, so I'm going to stamp my Hello Sunshine. And then for the inside, the Hello Sunshine, and then it says, for someone who's wonderful in each and every way. Don't have to add that, but I think it's nice. And that is from actually a different set. I kind of wanted to use some different sayings. Let's see. That one is from, this was one of the celebration ones, and it says just a little hi from me. I like that one, the Hello Sunshine, but they got some nice sayings. So you can't get this one anymore, but I'm going to use it anyways, okay? I haven't used it a whole lot, and I kind of want it to. So I'm going to stamp my Hello Sunshine on here, and I'm going to just be fussy cutting that out. Let's see if I can get a nice clean. I need my little mat thing that looks better. Okay, you know what? I actually have it right here. My little mat. Now you could stamp one of the daffodils in here too, in color, and it would be fine. Okay. And that is Pear Pizzazz, by the way, what I was using there. So this will go inside, just so I don't lose it. Get rid of that. Okay, get rid of this for a minute. I bet that's my bow right there. But I'm going to fussy cut this out, and then I'm going to pop that up. And there isn't much to fussy cutting this out, at least I don't think. Start out even. And if you, like, I don't have any of my circle punches anymore, but you could use a circle punch, would be cute on this. I got my framelits, but I take that back. I do have a couple of the smaller ones. I'm not sure if they'd be quite big enough, though. I think they're going to come back with those punches and just make them a different design or a newer design or something. I'm not really quite sure, but and if you're interested in ordering, just let me know. I just want to give you a little note that starting, I think it's in April, that the shipping's going to go up a little bit with Stampin' Up, but, you know, what hasn't? So, not surprising. I was kind of actually thinking they were going to do it sooner than what they did, so... Okay, I'm just going to use 2 small ones, but if you want to take advantage of getting a little bit cheaper shipping, then do your order before the end of the month. Okay, so we're going to put the Hello Sunshine right there. Oh my gosh, I think that is so cute. And use a glue dot there. Don't you think the other ribbon would have been too big? I mean, I think if I could tie this a little bit better. Sometimes when I do the bigger ribbon, that is too big if I don't cut it in half. Let me just show you here. See, I think that would have been too big. I mean, it's not horrible, but sometimes I will just take and like fold it in half anyways and just do a little knot. Or just do a little knot anyways. It's not going to matter. But I think that would be kind of, you know, you could get away with that. So, either way, it's cute. Okay, we need to finish something else. So I got to put my embellishments on. Just doesn't look finished when there's no embellishments. Let's see. I kind of changed things around a little bit. So let's put that there. I'm going to do a small one over here. And another small one. Let's do that there. And then I'm going to add the butterflies. And you probably really wouldn't even have to. I guess I got just a butterfly on there. So let's put that right there. What do you guys think? I think it's adorable. I love this color anyway. It's one of my favorite colors. So, okay. I do really like this with the scallop edge and stuff. So, okay, that is card number 2. Card number 3 is quite fun. I didn't even stamp the inside yet. So, let's bring this back here. And I did cut some pieces out because I wanted to show you how you could work with them too. Okay. Kind of nice to know all your angles on this. So, same color, the Magenta Madness. I'm not sure if that's the color. I think Polished Pink is staying, but I want to say this color is going to be retiring. I can't remember. I used to, oops, I dropped my photo. I used to know all the ink colors, but I don't know. I mean, I still know them. I just don't know what year is what year. Okay, let's see. I'm just kind of curious. All right, here we go. Yep. The Magenta Madness, Misty Moonlight, Bumblebee, Cinnamon Cider, and Just Jade. These are the colors that are going to be retiring. And the new catalog comes out in May, not in June. So if you want these colors, I would highly recommend ordering them. Or if you want the re-inkers, I would get them ordered as well. Oops, I got to pick up my... that would not be good. That'd probably stain my carpet. Drop my my cleaning pad, my thing. So, all right. So we got the Magenta Madness. Now that we know that's retiring, I have a piece that is 4 by 5 1/4, just a normal piece of the white. And then this one I ran through, oh, the Subtles folder. That's what I ran it through. But the Timeless textile, I think, is very similar, so you'd be okay using that. So I'm going to kind of do the same thing here and just kind of softly go over this. I always rub a little ink off because it can get, like, leave these marks. Like, see when you first do it, how it leaves those marks. If you do that, it can easily do that. And it may anyways, but not as bad. I didn't do quite as heavy as I did on that side. I'm not sure I like that. Let me start over. I think I had it out a little too far because then I got the dots on there too. There. Oh, my dog's got like hiccups or something. So, Mitch. All right. So my dots are, where are my dots? I think I'm hiding them here. Okay. So the dots that came in that set, I'm maybe not going to go quite as heavy this time. I don't know. Let me kind of just switch them around. Kind of want to keep turning your paper so they're not perfect. You know, I think that's almost enough. Maybe just get a few up here. What do you guys think? That enough? I think so. Okay. So we got that. Now, before I put my stuff away, what I have is, now you could cut your leaves out of the green paper, but if you want some shading and lighter, or, you know, you could do this, but if you cut it out of the green paper, what I would highly recommend, or, you know, your flower, I would recommend still shading them. Like, for instance, let's see. Let's just do a little bit on this. I'm going to do more just the edges because I got that paper. I'm just going to kind of show you how to maybe put this together. Not maybe, but using other than white, because I'm going to put mine together with all white. But your flower would be like that. And then I cut this out of the Magenta Madness, which I'm going to use white and kind of color, but it's not going to be as dark as that. It's going to be pretty dark, but not as dark. But I'm going to kind of leave it where it's maybe shaded a little bit. It's like that kind of still has some white on it on this side. Okay. And then this, if I use this, I probably would still try to maybe color some of it or something, because I don't know, it just looks so like, I don't know, like not like a flower, I guess. I don't know, maybe it's just me. See, I think I like the white, coloring the white better, because you can kind of see like a little contrast. Okay, just my opinion. Now, if you did this, this isn't too bad, but now if I do this, see, I got a little bit of that mark on there, but it'll probably be covered up. So you can go as light or as dark as you want. I'm gonna get a little darker right there and leave the tips a little white. So, and then we'll add that. I almost think I need to go a little darker right here. But you can see how that's dark to light. And then when you add your white, kind of looks a little more realistic. I don't know what you guys think, but that's what I think. So, and then plus you're using your blending brushes. Lots of times mine sit there and I kind of forget about them. So, all right, so let me see. I'm going to kind of work that off a little bit, get some of that purple off there. So even same with my leaves, figure out which way you want your leaves to kind of go. I got, let's see, that one going this way, this one going that way, And my stem is going that way. So I'm going to kind of just, these are a little bit like, I don't want to say not difficult to color, but a little more time consuming because they're smaller and you want to make sure you got enough color on them. So you could also use your little sponge dauber with this. I'll tell you, if people got trouble with their hands with anything, these blending brushes are great because there's like, they're thick and you can push on that. And okay, so there's that. And this one's going to be colored. And I want to color right to the bottom because I'm going to be using the whole thing. Sometimes if you get those little marks in there, you can kind of rub them out. I know you could with the sponges. And you honestly, not like I really want to do it with this, but if you wanted to add a little more to it, sometimes I like to kind of outline it. Just my leaves I'm going to do. I'm just picking it up and barely rubbing the pad on it. Okay. I gotta finish this bottom one. You know what? I probably should do the stem too. That really kind of finishes it off. I didn't do that on my other ones, but kind of like that. And it's just rubbing the pad, just basically catching that end, okay? This I'm gonna hardly see, but I'm going to kind of do a little bit of it. There, that's all you have to do. Not too difficult. I mean, for the beauty of the cards, I don't think it's too difficult. All right. And you know what I should have stamped too was my, let me just do that real quick. My Happy Mother's Day in the pink, which I got over here. And I did fussy cut that out. You know, they had, let me see. This came with the set, but this is really pretty too, the Celebrating You, the Happy Mother's Day. But I'm going to use this one that came with the set. And put my little label on it because I'm just fussy cutting it. Ooh, seems like there's a hair or something on there. There we go. That one's better. And then my little saying, which I didn't put the label on that either, but let's see. Okay, you are every bit of wonderful. I just wanted to make sure that it's stamped even. Isn't that nice? Like how that turned out. I think with it being so nice out, I'm going to have to kind of do my Facebook Lives, not at night, but I know it's hard to kind of be home when it's nice out and be inside. But you can always catch the replay. That's the nice part about it. And I do upload my videos to YouTube, so if you'd rather follow YouTube than Facebook, I'd be happy for you to subscribe to my channel. I haven't really made other videos yet, but I'd like to, so that is in the works. Do you know, on Monday, I had doctor's appointments like all day. I think it's Monday, yeah. But not all day, part of the day. It seems like we were gone all day, but we came home, had like at least 2 inches of snow, maybe 3. It was gorgeous, but in the morning it was so nice out, and we had all that snow on the trees, which was just heavy and wet and just gorgeous. I took a bunch of pictures, but I thought people are going to think I'm crazy. But I stood out by the river, watched my dog go on the ice, almost fainted, but right in front of me, didn't listen at all. But I was watching for eagles Oh my gosh, because they fly right over the river and it's so cool. But I must have been watching for probably an hour. It was so nice outside. I didn't even care. And the dogs are having fun running around. So, and of course, Todd came out there and got his little video going with the noise. And we did have an eagle fly right over us. But, of course, the trees were in the way where I was standing. So I'm like, oh. But, so I just layered that. And then, I know he was doing stuff outside and he said, open up the door. There's an eagle right in the pine tree. Well, of course, I didn't see it soon enough or quiet enough, but they fly right over us. It's pretty cool, but of course, you never have your camera out when it's like the perfect picture, right? But I just enjoyed being outside. It's like I'm ready to rake the lawn and get things going. Okay, so this flower, now that I've talked your ear off, I'm going to start layering, and I don't think I cut any. I might have, but I don't think I'm going to have to. I'm just going to start layering. I think this one I had to cut, and I already put this down. So, all right, let's start with these flowers and get them going together so I can kind of see where I need to cut my stem. So we're just going to add a little bit of glue there. Just going to kind of put these together. Add another little bit of glue. I love flowers, but do I know the names of half of them? Or I really don't. I could tell you what I like, but okay, there's that. And I got a little glue on the bottom, so I'm going to just flip that over. And in this piece, I'm going to add with glue, but then when I add it on my flower, I'm actually going to add it with a dimensional. We're going to pop it up, okay? So let's get this on here. Sometimes I just kind of slide it on there, and then that's why I use glue, so I can move it around. Okay, so we'll pop this up. Get my little mini dimensionals here. I'm probably going to do one more there. Okay, kind of want that darker part to show, so I'm going to just put that right there. And then let's go ahead and add the leaves. So I do think this is really pretty. I like using it this way. I don't know, I think, and I had gotten some of the daffodil paper, and I like some of it, but I don't like all of it for celebration. So I think that's why I haven't used it. But see, this is just my opinion. You know, so, but it's kind of hard to use something when you just can't, like, I don't know, get the feel for it, I guess. It's even like some people don't like doing, you know, the guy cards, but I think it's nice if you do some. Okay, so let me see. I'm just going to kind of cut that. And I don't think there's any right or wrong, but I'm going to put this on. I'm going to put this on after because I can kind of judge where I want it. And then I did pop this up as well. Same thing, if you're shipping it, I probably would just glue it down. Okay, so we got that there. Kind of know where we want the stem. I can get some glue out without it all coming out. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of, but I didn't really probably, let's see. You're not even going to see that on my other card. You kind of did, but that's okay. So I'm going to snip this. I got to snip it a little bit more. Okay, there. So you can always just put this part down first, and then if you have to add glue, add it after, okay? This way then you'll kind of know and you're not getting glue all over, like I like to do. So has anybody gotten this set or worked with it yet? Or oh, I just think that's so awesome. Okay, and I actually did a little double bow. Tied it kind of that figure 8 and tucked it under. Wasn't too hard with this one. Sometimes it's hard with certain ribbon. I'm going to put that this way this time. And there's little strings that kind of, because I cut it, that it frayed, but that doesn't matter. Oh, I really, really like that. So let's add the butterflies and the little gems, or polished dots, I guess they are. Oh, I think that's so pretty. Butterflies, flower, and pink. Can't go wrong, right? So I'm going to add the clear ones on this one. Doesn't matter. I think I have to add one pink one because I don't have any more. Let's add that one there. And you can kind of arrange it how you want it to be. Let's see. Put that one there. I don't know why I'm changing these around, but just a little bit. There. Okay. Here is our card. I really, really like this. Turned out nice. So let me know what you guys think. Our cards. Let's see, where's my other cards here? I'm really pleased at how these turned out. Like I said, I've been kind of avoiding this set, but I'm very happy with them. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it too. But just to let you know, back again, that this sale ends the 31st of March with the bundles. And I'm not sure of all these. I want to say they probably do fit with the mini one. That's why they probably bundled them up together, but not 100% sure. So but I would think so. Okay, and then this one goes, the one that I used last week is till the end of, let's see, oh, till May 2nd. So this, oh my god, this set I loved. But I've grown to really like the daffodils. I could probably make, you know, more cards and stuff too. But anywho, so remember, by Sunday, if you want to make these 3 cards, you will have to have the stamp set and the ink. But if you just place a $35 order or more and use my host code, I'll send you the stuff to make the 3 cards. And you could use any flowers. It doesn't have to be the daffodils. You could use, if you had different ones, to put on there. But you'll have all the basic, okay? And the butterflies and the rhinestones and whatever. So, or the polished dots, I could call them, or something similar to that since I'm running out. But I hope you guys enjoyed the Facebook Live, learned a little tip about the coloring with the Wink of Stella or working with the Aqua Painters. Okay, have a great weekend. I'm hoping to post a little 5-minute Friday thing tomorrow, and we'll go from there. So next week, the Facebook Live will be on Wednesday. The week after, I'm not sure. I have a dentist appointment at 8:30 and not sure how long that'll last. So, but okay, thanks. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.